Audiobook of Karma. The Book of the 12 Dimensions of Karma is a guide that allows you to explore the deeper dimensions of existence. It will help you understand how karma affects aspects of your daily life. For example, the emotional world and personality, relationships, family life, the culture of a country, and the purpose of your life. The word karma means the purpose of life, the mastery, knowledge, experience, and learning of incarnation and of many lifetimes, as it will act through many dimensions of existence. And it also means the collective evolutive process of many beings, such as the karma of a country or the karma of the earth. Thus, karma will determine many types of experiences on earth. From the mental karma in which the cognitive functions of the brain are formed, determining how beings see the world or perceive the reality, through the colors and geometric shapes, the sounds they can hear, the form of communication and language, and the energies they can perceive, the emotional karma that can be expressed in the emotional connections of life, as in the couple relationship, in the family life, and in the amity, the karma of the soul, which implies the access to the universal knowledge of evolution in many cycles of incarnations, the karma of the country, which determines the cultural and social characteristics of each country, the karma of humanity, which is defined as the collective evolutive process of all human beings up to the karma of the earth, which means the evolutionary process and the energetic and evolutionary interaction of all beings that inhabit the planet. But karma implies that all past lives are related as one learning, which is called the karmic trajectory, or cycle of incarnations, and the training of beings between incarnations in the astral realms or in the realms of light. All beings develop learnings in the types of knowledge that they come to develop in incarnation, which are an essential part of the life purpose, and this will manifest as the interests that human beings have in various areas of knowledge. The karmic trajectory implies that the same sequence of knowledge and learning has been developing over many lifetimes. For example, who today is a doctor, musician, or mathematician is because they have been in many past lives, developing different aspects of sacred medicine, cosmic music, or sacred mathematics. Or when a couple relationship is a toxic relationship of much aggression and violence, karma implies that in future incarnations they will be a couple again, and that between lives both will have access to energies of universal love and universal light that will allow them to transform those negative energies into love, peace, and harmony. And when someone does much harm to another being, it will cause a negative karma or karmic debt, which implies that in successive lives they will have to repair the damage caused and also experience the same damage caused. This book will enable you to understand how all dimensions of existence are connected over many cycles of incarnations. This implies that those with whom beings meet in the present life have been together in many past lives, such as from 1,000, 5,000, 20,000, or even 100,000 years ago. Because karma implies many cycles of incarnations with the same souls, from the same family group, the same partners, the same friends, the same university and schoolmates, etc. In addition, this book will allow you to know the different stages of the evolutionary process of human beings, from the configuration of the 7 chakras or the 7 evolutive stages of the mind and the emotional field, which determine the shape of the body and the functions of the organs, what beings think and feel every day, and how they perceive the world and reality. Likewise, the 7 levels of enlightenment, which are 7 evolutive stages of the soul in which it transmutes and accesses to greater dimensions of divine light, or forms the luminous energies of the soul and the being's access to the sacred books of enlightenment, which is the universal knowledge of the evolutive process and is part of the knowledge of the sacred societies. In this book, we will take a journey through time to sacred societies, also called high evolution societies of humanity, to understand what experience and karma is like in more advanced stages of the evolution of human beings. These are ancient Egypt, the Mayans, the Celts, the Atlantis, the Redskins, the Tibet, the Lemurians, the Incas, the Aborigines of Australia, ancient China, the Sumerians, the Druids, the Amazonian tribes, etc. They had some knowledge far superior to that of humanity in actuality, since everything was channeled. In addition, an essential part of karma was the development of higher psychic capacities that allowed telepathic communication with all kinds of beings, such as those of nature. For example, dolphins, lions, eagles, flowers, and with beings from other dimensions of the earth, such as gnomes, fairies, and elves, as well as with advanced civilizations of the universe. It is a much more advanced form of communication and access to universal knowledge. This allows them to learn from the evolutive processes of all created beings. It was very common in Atlantis, ancient Egypt, the Mayans, and the Lemuria, for spacecraft to enter Earth exchanging evolutive information and knowledge with them. Also, the development of psychic capacities allowed them to perceive higher levels of reality, such as the sounds and colors of the waves of energies of the Earth and the cosmos, the energies of the auric field of all beings, of nature, of the earth and of the soul, the vision and daily communication with beings from other dimensions of the universe. All this was an essential part of his karma, his experience, and his way of learning. That is why life was very different from that of contemporary society. In addition, these civilizations had a scientific and technological knowledge far superior to that of actuality's humanity, since it was channeled from other dimensions. For example, with the use of high vibration sounds that could modify the structure of the matter with which they created their temples, their arts, and the use of quartz crystals that allowed modification of the climate and the magnetic and gravitational field of the Earth. It was common in the Mayas, Atlantis, and ancient Egypt the entry of large spacecraft of very high energy, for which they had to modify the magnetic and gravitational field of the Earth. This is a channeled book. This implies that it has been dictated to its author word for word and phrase for phrase as part of the New Age knowledge that is coming to humanity through many channelers, and that will allow you to have a much deeper understanding of life and experience on Earth. This book is available in Amazon.com stores in United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, Japan, and in digital platforms around the world in India, Arabic countries, Africa, and South Asia countries.